Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am your science teacher Aisha Javed from the Dress School. Today we will do page number 6 of summer bag and topic mentioned on it is water cycle. So our topic for discussion today is water cycle. In order to clear the concept of water cycle, we need to understand few terminologies. Let me discuss them one by one. The first new term which we need to understand is water bodies. All river, sea, lake, pond, etc. are called water bodies. Coming to the second term which you need to clear is evaporation. What is evaporation? Evaporation is a process by which water or liquid phase gets converted from the liquid into the gas. Here you can see with the help of sun's heat, the river water is being converted into the water vapors or gas. The third term which we need to clear for understanding the process of water cycle is condensation. Condensation is a process in which gas changes into liquid. Now you people will wonder how a gas can be converted into liquid. Okay, let me give you an example. When you put some ice cubes into a glass of water in summer season, after some time you can observe tiny droplets or tiny water droplets around the surface of glass. Now you would be wonder where this water comes from. Did the water leak through the glass? No, it came from the air. As you know, water vapors are always present in the air. Air temperature is more as compared to the cold glass. For example, air has 41 degrees centigrade and glass has 10 degrees centigrade. Now when these warm water vapors touch the cold glass surface, the water vapors, that is gas, will be converted into the liquid and thus those water vapors appear as tiny water droplets. This process can be easily identified as condensation. Did you notice something about the process of condensation? It is opposite to the process of evaporation. Why is that? Okay, let me tell you. Here in this picture you can see evaporation is change of liquid or water into the gas and condensation is change of gas into liquid. So both processes are opposite to each other. Coming to the third term, that is transpiration. Transpiration is transfer of water from the plant surfaces into the atmosphere. Just as we sweat, so do plants. Plants absorb water from the soil. Each plant will use the water that it needs to help it grow. Extra water travels through the plants to the leaves and then it is pulled out and evaporates in the air. This process is known as transpiration. Transpiration is similar to evaporation, but here change of water into gas takes place from the surface of plants instead of water bodies. Coming to the fourth term, that is precipitation. In science, precipitation means any weather condition where something falling down from the sky. There are different forms of precipitation like rain, snow, hail, sleet, etc. Sleet is the rain containing some ice. I hope that these terms are clear to you. Now coming back to our main topic, that is water cycle. What is water cycle? The transfer of water from the water bodies to atmosphere and then its return back to the earth in the form of rain, snow, etc. is called water cycle. Steps of water cycle. There are four main steps of water cycle. Evaporation and transpiration. Second step is condensation. Third step is precipitation and fourth step is collection of water. Let me discuss them one by one. First step is evaporation and transpiration. The sun's energy is necessary to power the water cycle. Evaporation and transpiration both are caused by sun's heat. Evaporation occurs when the sun heats up the water in the water bodies and turns water into water vapors or gas. Change of water into the water vapors also takes place from the surface of plants that we call as transpiration. Evaporation of water also takes place from the surface of snow on the mountains. The second step of water cycle is condensation. As these water vapors in the air move up, they become cool. As you know well, at high altitudes or at high heights, temperature is low as compared to the ground area. Example is Murray, where the temperature is extremely cold or low as compared to the Lahore temperature because Murray is a hilly area. So when water vapors move upwards, they become cool due to the cold temperature, and on cooling, water vapors will be converted into the water droplets or liquid phase. This process can be easily identified as condensation. These water droplets then combine together to form the clouds. So we can easily understand now that clouds are formed by the process of condensation. The third step of water cycle is precipitation. The water droplets in the clouds become heavier and heavier and air cannot hold them anymore. The water then falls back to the earth in the form of rain, hail or snow, etc. Fourth and last step of water cycle is collection. Water from the clouds that fall down in the form of rain, snow, etc. collects in the river, streams, lakes, ocean, etc. Most of the water will soak into the ground and will be collected as underground water. Here we can again summarize our water cycle. The transfer of water from the water bodies into atmosphere by evaporation and transpiration, and then condensation in the form of clouds, and then its return back to the earth in the form of rain, snow, etc. is called water cycle. When the water performs each process of evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation and collection, it completes the water cycle. The water cycle is Earth's way of recycling the water on our planet. I hope that this topic is clear to you. Thank you so much.